Welcome back to the ongoing coverage and analysis of Dune Awakening. Today's video is about the resources we see in the gameplay footage and the trailers. We're going to start with the most basic stuff and move into the more complicated stuff. Let's get it going. Starting off with plants. One of the first resources you're going to encounter in the game. Plants are going to be useful for a number of recipes, such as health kits. They are seemingly found on the ground almost anywhere. Plants are obviously useful for harvesting water. You can also drink water from the plants, which helps you out. So plants are good, but it will make you sick, so plants also bad. There's also cactuses in the game, which we see here and here. Perhaps those are going to be a little bit better for drinking. We don't know. Moving into metals. This is also going to be a starting resource for the game, as we see in the gameplay video here. This can be harvested using the cutter ray from various wreckages found around the desert. It's also good for crafting your starting knife as well as a few other important tools when you're just getting going. Possibly an important resource in many different recipes. You'll also find salvaged metal on the ground in various places. Both this and plants are going to be used in crafting blood packs and some of the water discipline tools, so that's important. We see this mysterious blue ore in a lot of different videos throughout the months. We've never really been told what it is though. It's likely that it's one of the starting ores since we do see it so much. Potentially copper? I'm not even sure what copper looks like. We never see its name, so I'm excited to find out what it is, but it somehow looks delicious? I don't know. Interesting. Then we move on to Granite Stone. This is used a lot in the building footage, and it's likely to be a main building resource. Can be found obviously in rocky areas and on the sand around rock outcroppings. Also harvestable with the cutter ray. We see here that harvesting 40 granite stone only adds 8 to the total volume, so it is a highly stackable resource, which is good to know. Now I don't have any confirmation on this as a resource, but it sure does look like one to me. We've seen it here in the alpha trailer footage. Potentially different from granite stone, but could just be an early version of it, not sure. We don't have a lot of info on this one, but it is an interesting find. Micro sandwich fabric. Try saying that 3 times fast. It's gathered from cutting the water seals in the tutorial cave at the least. Possibly used in still tank construction, which is a guess, but maybe it's for sandwiches. We see this once in the enemy camps, but it's also later seen in a loot chest. It's labeled as vehicle fuel cell later on in the video. We didn't get to see what the volume looks like, but it's definitely going to be important in transportation. We get to see copper ore and ingots as a common resource in vehicle construction. Note the mention of the ore refinery there, so ore to ingots as a pipeline will be a job. We also see Servoks and particle capacitors as a mid-tier component, again common in vehicle craft. It's unconfirmed, but possibly it's craftable with raw resources. It is found in loot chests in the treasure sand clip and in a couple other clips. Both of these are going to be a region-specific item only found in certain areas, labeled with that blue Imperial mark there in the top left. Then we move on to the first type of harvestable sand that we've seen. You can gather the flower sand by hand or with a static compactor. I love how it sucks the sand into the center like that, which is just really awesome. Make sure you watch out for worms though out there. Moving on to Duraluminum, presumably a high-tier resource. We've only seen it in one loot chest at the end of the Eco Lab so far. It seems to require spice to craft the ingots, as noted by the spice-infused Duraluminum ingot there. Notice also we see a mention of the lasgun there. Still some unknowns on this little menu here, but we do see one of these icons in just a minute. And unfortunately we have no information on this. Potentially it's important for quests as it is at the end of an Eco Lab. This is the juiciest clip we have so far. We actually get to see Spice, Solari, and Plasteel here. Plasteel being that chain link icon from the Duraluminum clip we just watched. First time seeing Spice as an item as well. We saw Solari a little bit earlier, but there's that fuel cell battery from earlier as well. Moving on into steel and aluminum. These are 2 types of metal tier weapon that we see in the shop. Plus the copper Mala pistol from earlier makes 3, plus the Duraluminum lasgun makes 4 types of tiered weapons so far. Some of these map icons do seem to be similar to the item icons that we see in the Eco Lab menu here. That's a hint of where to find the goods. I'll reveal more if I figure out anything about this. One thing I do want to note that I was wrong about earlier, it seems like this indicator isn't really base specific. Possibly it's linked to a scanner or vehicle. It seems to fade away as you exit the vehicle there, so interesting. That's gonna do it for us on the resource video. Did I miss anything? Let me know in the comments. Hope you're enjoying the stuff so far. We're gonna keep it rolling. But until then, keep it locked at NZMPLAYS. Peace!